शुक्लाम्बरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। ॐ ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। लिख ब्रह्मा is also knowledge in the sense it is not Brahma. Indirect knowledge, what is called as Paroksha Jnana, is not an erroneous notion, it is also a valid knowledge. It is now being determined. What square has come? So, what is the first mara on which this entire chapter is a commentary? Atmanam Vedjaniyat Ayam Asmiri Purusha Kimicha Kasaramaya Shariram Anusarvat. If one knows that my Swarupa is Atma Swarupa, not simple picking up information, direct program must be there, direct cognition will be there. So, Ayam Asmiri Purusha, I am this. For that person, where is the occasion to get afflicted by any of these sorrows that are pertaining to the embodiment? In that context, Ayam Asmi Purusha, that Atma is Ayam, that Ayam Shastra speaks of proximity, Paroksha, as verily my Swarupa. Now, this Ayam of Hridaka Mantra speaks of Aparokshatva, Aparokshatva with the true nature of me, what is the true I. When it is I, how that can be Paroksha Jnana? So what is available as really me as such cannot be more. Paroksha Jnana is something removed from me. So how is it possible? So it is when Ayam speaks of Paroksha, so of that depth is me, like something other than me, that knowledge Paroksha Jnana is not correct. And if it is that, it is not knowledge, it is some Dhamma, it is some erroneous notion. So that was the Kataram to make understand. First, how Paroksha Jnana is available in twofold ways. He showed. What was come, why it appears Paroksha, we'll see later. First, Aparoksha. What is Aparoksha? What is Aparoksha? That is neither protection nor Paroksha. Protection directly perceivable through your sense organs, Jnanendriyas. It is not that way. There is something remote, you can see. No. What is that thing? The I, true I, which cannot be perceived by Jnanendriya sense organs, nor is it remote, because something that is remote in time and space can be protection able for direct perception. Okay? So that whatever that is Aparoksha is really I, and I is a principle which is self-evident. What do you mean by self-evident separation? You don't need any means of knowledge to know I. Look here, not true Swarupa. I am. I am is experienced without the help of any of the Jnanendriyas. After there is no occasion of again the spring in figure to gain the knowledge, nor mind intellect. Because in sleep, the Jnanendriyas and the sense organs and the mind intellect are not operating. Still experiences that I slept well, I did not know it. Means whatever that is I is something which is self-evident Swarakasha. Swarakasha is actually Aparoksha. This is one way of Aparoksha being what it is. Other way is that I is Aparoksha, not knowing the Dikshana, Buddhi, the Dikshana, mind and intellect. So that it is so. So means that I, Atma, Brahma is what? Aparoksha. I am the Swaprakash Swarupa, Chaitanya Swarupa, direct cognition. Other is what? There is a principle, it is called I, which is self-evident, what it becomes. There also what say, it is Aparoksha, you say, but your cognition is not Aparoksha, your cognition is Paroksha. So therefore, the Aparoksha is available in twofold ways. That question maybe. So what we are discussing the validity of Paroksha Jnana. You have told us something about that twofold way of looking at Paroksha. How is it going to help you? Listen. When Swaprakash Atma, self-evident Atma, is viewed by the Buddhi as what? It is something that is what I am. Even at that time, truly speaking, Swaprakash Atma, Aparoksha Atma doesn't become Paroksha. It is in that what? Paroksha only. Even if you say there is something called self-evident principle, actually what is it? It is very me, Aparoksha. Not saying that even if you say there is a principle, only because you say or you know that means such a principle they are like remote as such. Atma doesn't happen to be Paroksha. It still continues to be what? Aparoksha. That's what it says. Paroksha 50. Paroksha Jnana Kalepi. It has Swaprakashata Sa. Whether it is Aparoksha directly you know or you take remotely, Atma continues to be what? Swaprakasham only. So that is Swaprakasham Brahma Asti Eva Bodhana. Because that is knowledge, there is something called Atma with Swaprakasha principle, self-evident knowledge principle, that is your knowledge. Even at that time, Atma doesn't become something remote. It continues to be there, though you don't know the Paroksha nature of that Atma. For that, the doubt was, if Atma, Chaitanya, the pure awareness principle, which is identical with Brahma, is Paroksha. How is it possible for to be available as Paroksha, as something remote from you? So that is the question. He says, see, we have seen this. Aham Brahmetyanullikhya Brahmasti Teva Mullikhet Paroksha Jnanam Etanna Bhrantam Badha Nirupana. So, Paroksha Jnanam Aham Brahmeti Anullikhya Brahma Asti Itevam Ullikhet. What is Paroksha Jnana? He defines now. What is it? This is what Paroksha Jnana. What does it do? Aham Brahma iti Anullikhya. So, Anullikhya means not having the Aparoksha Jnana without specifying as I am Brahma. Actually, look here. Atma, I, with pure awareness principle, pure consciousness principle, Chaitanya Tattva, Atma is identical with Brahma. You call Atma with respect to your body, the same principle is called as Brahma with respect to the entire Jagat. But the principle is what? The pure knowledge. Here, religion, etc. don't come in picture at all. So the pure knowledge principle, which is the basis for all living beings, not simply human beings as such, because of which knowledge principle is possible. So, don't think that knowledge is available only on account of Jnanendriya, etc. Jnanendriya, etc. do help us as the means to give the knowledge of specific Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. They need the help of Antakarana. Antakarana in terms of these thought channels it gives, but thought channels being inner to know that the knowledge is required. This we have seen much in the Drisha, etc. We have seen that. So that being the case, the finally that which makes you know is that knowledge principle. Just as eyes, etc. are necessary to see the form, but finally what is required? Light principle must be there. Without light you can't see. Even though you have got healthy pair of eyes, it's not possible. So like that, it is the knowledge principle. So that is what at individual level is called as Atma, I, at the total level called as the Brahma. So therefore it says, what is Paroksha Jnana then? That Chaitanya is truly me and not the embodiment, which cannot be so, which has been discussed earlier. Aham Brahmeti Anullikhya means without the Aparokshanubha, or what is called as without Sakshatkara, or without the direct cognition that this Chaitanya Tattva Atma is me, Brahma, without that. So how it is taken? Brahma asti iti evam ullikhe. Knowledge takes place that there is something called Brahma. When you say something called Brahma, what do you mean? What do you do? You have already isolated yourself from what? I am different and Brahma is different. And what is that Brahma? Knowledge principle. Something called Brahma, knowledge principle. Actually what is it? Whatever I you call that knowledge principle, not the embodiment, etc., itself is Brahma, not knowing that. So when you say this, there is a principle called Brahma. So when you say so, that is what Brahma asti evam ullikhe. That is what? That is Paroksha Jnana. Fine. This is what Paroksha Jnana. We'll see, actually, the doubt is what? Whatever that is Aparoksha, verily me, cannot be Paroksha. It is true. But the problem is with whom? Not with Brahma, not with Shastra. Problem is with whom? We will see afterwards. Problem is with us. We are the culprit who have mistaken that to be so. That will come in the stanza 54 afterwards. It is afterwards. We have committed the mistake. There is no mistake on the part of Atma or Brahma, nor on the part of Shastra. We have committed the mistake, and that's so it appears. Even it appears, it can never become Paroksha. So therefore let us say now, this is what Paroksha Jnana. Now, maybe this is Paroksha Jnana, indirect knowledge. Paroksha Jnana means indirect knowledge. So, but it may be erroneous. Bhrantam, it may be error, it may be wrong thing. What you know as I am, there is something called Brahma, may be wrong thing. This can be the doubt. Now, the one who says this, that is, I am Brahma, not knowing Sakshat, without Sakshatkara, without Aparoksha Anubhava, saying Brahma is there is Paroksha Jnana that told. If someone says this is not Prama, this is not valid knowledge, this is erroneous notion. If he says, that person should be asked, sir, please tell me what are the reason on the grounds of which you say that this knowledge, Paroksha Jnana, is erroneous one. If you have a difficulty, we will help you to sort out. We will give you, are you going to say on these 4 grounds, this Paroksha Jnana is erroneous? We will say, what are those 4 grounds like this? This is Bhranta, you say. Is it because that is Paroksha Jnana is Badhya? Badhyatvat. Badhyatvat means Siddhukhya. That which can be negated. See, you saw a snake. Your understanding is what? There is a snake. A little darkness was there. But afterwards when you took the torch and flashed the light, it was what? Rope. So what is that? Your earlier cognition that it is a snake is what? Has become Badha. It is Badhya. Means your earlier knowledge that this is a snake has got negated. Like that, you mean to say Brahma is there, this Paroksha Jnana is Badhya? Means by something you say, no, it is not Paroksha. Can you prove that? Is it because of that? That is one possibility. Of course, answers are being given for this one by one. That is going to give. Number 2. What is that number 2? Vyakyanulekha. Vyakyanulekha means this is Brahma. Like that you are not able to. No. Look here. This is microphone. It's called Vyakyanulekha. Vyakyanulekha means direct objectification. This is microphone. Like that. This is what? Brahma. Like Vyakyanulekha. The direct pointing out is not possible. Because of that, are you going to say in Paroksha Jnana, this is Brahma, you can't say? Is it because of that, therefore you are telling that knowledge is what? Erroneous? Are you going to say that? We'll see that answer for this. Or, something which is fit to be known aparokshataha, directly, you are knowing it what? Parokshataha. Brahma is what? Verily me. So, whatever that is verily me, knowing it as this, therefore it becomes Paroksha. It is wrong. Therefore Paroksha Jnana is not knowledge. Are you saying this way? That is one thing. Or is it because Anshagrahanat? Anshagrahanat means a particular aspect of Brahma you have not known. What is the particular aspect of Brahma? It is verily me. So when you say there is Brahma, you are already isolating yourself different from Brahma. Whatever me has been made, this is the, whatever the, what is that? The I-ness of it. That is pratyekatva, pratyaktva. Pratyaktva you have not taken into account. Because of that, are you going to say it is wrong? 4 possibilities can be there. If at all, that Paroksha Jnana can be erroneous one, it can have only these 4 causes. Say this, all the 4 things cannot be applied one by one. He is now replying. First, what was that? Asya bhrantatvam kim badhyatva. Brahma is there. This is the Paroksha Jnana. Actually, what should be this? I am Brahma Swarupa. That has been presented and known as what? There is Brahma different from me. This knowledge, if you say erroneous, is it because this Brahma is there, this knowledge can be refuted by something like this? This is snake, is refuted afterward by this is a rope. Is it that way? For which answer is given, etanna bhrantam badha nirupana. Etat bhrantam na. The Brahma which is I am Brahma, when known as this is Brahma, this Paroksha Jnana is not bhrantam, is not erroneous knowledge. Why do you say so? Badha nirupana. There avagraha must be there. Badhayaha anirupanat. After badha, put one avagraha. Now like S type you put there. Though it is not in your book, for easy understanding, better you put there. Otherwise, badha, you see, grammatically you can take it what? Badhayaha nirupanat Badhayaha anirupanat. Both things are what? Badha nirupanat only. So, as per the strict older this thing, avagraha is not put because you are supposed to know Sanskrit language. But nowadays problem is there, therefore what? Even if you know little Devanagari, you should know that A is there. Badhayaha anirupanat is its refutation, refuting that this Brahma is that this knowledge can never be refuted. Nobody has experienced so far refuting of that this knowledge that Brahma is that. Means it can't be negated, it can't be refuted. Means it is not experienced that it can be negated. No one can say Brahma is there, this knowledge can be negated. Of course, this is going to be explained in the next stanza. Next stanza actually explains what is that Badha Nirupanat, please explain the 52nd stanza. So, first time. Actually, the truth is what? I am Brahma. Careful, which I it is? Which I it is? Not the present notion of taking the embodiment as I earlier chapter said dealt with that. We have dealt that. So what is it? The pure consciousness principle, because of which you are aware of waking state, dream state, deep sleep state. You are aware of all the experiences, including what you don't know, your ignorance also you are aware of. That only can be I. Rest all is anatma. Whatever known as this, whatever experience as this cannot be I. That we have seen. Okay. So now, this is, that means Brahma is this knowledge, Paroksha Jnana, cannot be refuted, cannot be negated. How do you say so? Badhayaha anirupanat. How do you say so? Answer is, the reason is given in the next stanza. Brahmanastiti manam chet Syat badheta tada dhruvam Nachaivam prabalam manam Pasyamoto na badhyate Brahma nasti iti. Add there prabalam. Nasti, add prabalam, continue. Manam syat che. Prabalam manam syat chet tada dhruvam badheta. Evam prabalam manam nacha. Evam prabalam manam nacha pashyamaha. Ataha nabadhyate. Nabadhyate. Ataha nabadhyate. Say, remember now. Brahma is there. This knowledge, Paroksha Jnana, can be erroneous one provided it is refuted. He said it can't be refuted. If at all you can refute it, by what can you refute? Let us see. Brahma nasti iti prabalam manam syati. If you have got, I hope you know what is manam. This word now say pramanam. I told you. Pramanam also is called manam. Prameyam also is called meya. And surprisingly, interestingly, prama also is called ma. Okay, at times ma, not your Hindi ma. Okay, prama, knowledge also is called at times ma. It is called. So here, manam, not honor, etc., not manam, honor, and all that. Pramanam. So Brahma nasti. There is nothing called Brahma. Iti prabalam manam syatchi. If a powerful pramana is there, prabala, strong one. Why that prabala is used? Who told you Brahma is there? What is the prama? What is pramana? What is pramana? Authority. Every time you don't do that. Lala, Manuni, Paripata Kela, Magila, Visuruna Gela. What is pramana? Means of knowledge, that English, that is true. I want the vernacular. Jnana sadhana. Very, because now that means of knowledge, no, we have to use, because that English, that is the only thing. But jnana sadhana, it conveys better. Jnana sadhana. You are listening to me. Jnana sadhana is what? Your ears. You are looking here. What is the jnana sadhana? eyes. Of course, mind, intellect required the thing like that. Jnana sadhana. Always now pramana, keep in mind now. Jnana sadhana means no ambiguity at all. But means of knowledge, we are accustomed to that, but still know that clarity is not there in that jnana, that is means of knowledge. In fact, I have seen this one thing. Vernacular is, of course, Sanskrit is the best language for Vedanta communication. Second best is vernacular. I have found this by experience also. Look, for last 19-20 years, I am teaching Vedanta in English language. Of course, I have taught in Marathi, I have taught in Hindi also. But recently, about 2 years back or so, I started teaching in Kannada language. And I could find the difference. Miss, in terms of communication also, because there is something there, it is there. That's what the problem. This convent education problem is there. That is with that. Because English language is the one which is not that fit for Vedanta. Because in the vernacular, what happens? We have got that basis in the Sanskrit. We may not know Sanskrit, but we have got the basis there. They can communicate better. Jnana sadhana, there is no problem at all. Anyway, whatever it may be. So, this Brahma nasti iti prabalam manam syat. Prabalam is more powerful than the question was, Brahma is there. What is your means of knowledge, pramana? Who told you Brahma is there? Times of India, advertisement it comes, is it? Or TV channel? Brahma is there. Who told you? Shruti, Upanishad. Upanishadam Brahma. That which is what? Communicated in the Upanishad. Means Shruti Veda is the pramana. Now we say, if there is a jnana sadhana, if there is a pramana, a means of knowledge, more powerful than Vedas, there is no Brahma. Just as say, you had seen the snake in the darkness. But when you brought the light and saw, what happens? It is a more powerful pramana. Though the same eyes are saying, now they are operating better, is it not? Because light is there. Without light, eyes cannot function. So therefore, that is a more powerful. Like that, if some pramana, means of knowledge, not anybody's imagination, not paurusheya, not the fiction of the mind. So a pramana, a jnana sadhana, means of knowledge, more powerful than Veda if it is there. And it says there is nothing called Brahma, then what will happen? Brahma is there, this paroksha jnana gets negated. It gets the padha, the padhatva is there. Said, Brahma nasti iti prabalam manam syachet. Then he said, tada dhruvam badheta. Certainly, the knowledge, indirect knowledge that Brahma is there gets negated, refuted. You have to accept there is no Brahma. Come on, can you point out? Which pramana you are pointing out? That Brahma is not there. Swamiji, I am telling. You may tell. Thank you. You tell many things. Why they tell this only? So, people will say that this is not something which can be the guessing or some imagination of anyone else. So, again now, Shruti says so, it may be wrong. We simply don't say because Shruti says, it is given to reasoning and it can be directly aparoksha anubhava. We can directly discover it. Therefore, 3 criteria are there. 3 touchstones are there. Shruti, Yukti, Anubhava. Shruti is the final means of knowledge, but it has been verified by Yukti and Anubhava. Therefore, we take that way. So, therefore, we say, so if it is for that such a thing, a more powerful pramana is there, then it can certainly get refuted. But we don't find such a pramana. Evam prabalam manam nacha pashyamaha. Such a prabalamana, more powerful pramana. Evam means what? Brahmanaha abhava bodhakam. Something which tells you there is no Brahma. So such a pramana we don't find at all. Why you don't find? Somebody may say that somebody who says because of which he is able to say that itself is Brahma. Suppose somebody says, I tell you there is no Brahma. Achha, very good. You tell now. I won't reject straight away, sir. You tell, who is that you who is telling me? I am telling that. He may touch his chest also. I am telling. How did you say that you are, that Brahma is not there? Look, I have figured it out. I inquired myself, I figured it out, there is no Brahma. Fine, I accept. I give the benefit of doubt to you. Okay, you figured it out. And finally, how did you conclude that there is no Brahma? So I concluded, in my mind, there is no Brahma. And then what are you doing? First, you are making a statement, there is no Brahma. To make that statement, before that you have come to a conclusion. And that conclusion is what level? Buddhi level. Okay? In Buddhi there is a thought, Antakara Vritti, there is no Brahma. I have analyzed this, there is no Brahma. Fine, I agree with that. Now, that thought which you have expressed in terms of your organ of speech and given and present in terms of the words. Now tell me, how did you know that thought, there is no Brahma, which you have concluded? I know it. How did you know that? Because we can prove a thought, any thought, whatever it is product, the fine product of your assimilated food. We have seen the experiment. Any blessed thoughts, whether you want that thought or you don't want that thought, correct thought or a wrong thought, so-so thought, emotional thought, ignorant thought of ignorance, whatever it may be, is product of what? Your assimilated food. Chandogya tells this. If that is the case, how do you know the inner thought? Without knowledge principle, can you know? Without light, can you see any form? That knowledge principle, because of which you are aware of your conclusion that there is no Brahma, that is what we say Brahma. Can you refute? Come on, tell me. You are exhibiting, this what is called a, you see, Brahma is not there, or in a other way, a simpler way, God is not there. As good as saying, I am not there. How will you take a statement? I tell you, I am not there. I think better we accept no, somebody says so. He says what? Shouts at the top of the voice, I am not there, and bangs the table, I am not there. This is what is called as Vadato Vyaghataha. You know what Vadato Vyaghata means? A palpable contradiction, like saying, I tell you, I am dumb. This fellow shouting at such a top voice, I have to plug my ears. See, he's shouting, I tell you, I am dumb. Can't you listen? I am dumb. This fellow is shouting and he says what? I am dumb. This is called Vadato Vyaghataha, a contradiction by itself which is obvious. Like that. If you say Brahma is not there, or God, I am not there, Brahma only, say Brahma only from the standpoint of creation is called Ishvara. Even that English word God is a mischievous word because it is not very clearly defined as a. Better we keep as Ishvara Tattva, Bhagavat Tattva, or creator principle. So that is not there means what? It is as good as saying I am not there. When you say I am not there, to make a statement, do you know that you are not there? How do you know that you are not there? You are making a statement. That very knowledge principle is I. So therefore, it says, so even if you say someone says Brahma is not there, so it cannot be taken, that means seriously, because the principle because of which he knows this conclusion and is because of which your organ of speech is able to speak, that principle itself is Chaitanya Tattva, that itself is Brahma. So that being the case, so Prabalam Manam Na Pashyama. Evam means Brahmanaha Abhava Bodhakam. A pramana which speaks of absence of Brahma, we don't find at all. So therefore, Ataha Na Badhyati means Brahma Na Asti. Brahma is not there. Such pramana is not available. So therefore, Paroksha Jnana cannot be negated. So that being the case, Na Badhyate. What is Na Badhyate? Brahma Asti. Brahma is there. This indirect knowledge cannot be refuted because more powerful pramana which points out Brahma is not there, is not available. So therefore, on account of Badha Anirupana, that Brahma is there, this indirect knowledge cannot be negated, refuted, therefore it is not Bhranti, it is knowledge only. Now the next possibility is Brahma is there, so why? Vyaktyanullekha, that it is not available for objectification like this. You can't point out Brahma as this. Therefore what? This paroksha jnana, indirect knowledge, is erroneous one. For this, answer is given, my dear sir, be little careful. Your statement can be ridiculous also. If you is little stretch your statement, it can turn out to be ridiculous, because it is a matter of indiscretion or imprudence, that unwarranted thing you are talking. What is it? Only because Brahma is not available for objectification as this, therefore it is not knowledge. So there are many things which are not available for objectification as this, and yet they are what? They cannot be branded as erroneous one. Now tell me one thing. Sun is stationary or revolving? Surya. Earth is stationary or revolving? What is revolving? Earth is revolving and sun is stationary. Is it so? Do you experience that way? What is your objectification? Morning the sun rises, it comes on the head. Evening sets. And what? What are you talking? So earth is revolving. What will happen? Will all of us will get what? Hurled around. All the trains, the bus, the cars, etc. will start getting hurled in the abysses. Is it not? How is it possible? What is your experience? You say sun is stationary. Can you point out? Objectify this stationary, what you are saying, and earth is revolving. Can you this thing? You know what you should do? What is that? If you it is not totally impossible, but I think it is not worth doing as such. You know what is that? You have to take a rocket or an aeroplane. What type of aeroplane? Capable of going beyond the gravitational field of, and it can be stationary in the space beyond the orbit of who? Earth. And then look what happens. Earth is going and what? Sun is stationary. In a project, would like to have a project like that. America also will not venture, because it's of no use. They will venture a project of destroying other nations. That is a different thing. So they will not. So as it is, what happens? It is not possible for us to know it, but still it is not. As this, sun is not moving, earth is moving. As this, can you do? No. But what is the knowledge? Inferences are there by which we can conclude that sun is stationary and earth is revolving. Now, a little better way of in the terms of pramana. Heavens are there. You see, the question asked by a person who has got astikya buddhi in Vedas, who accept the Vedas as the pramana. So this person asked him, heavens are there. Who has told you? Shruti. Have you seen heavens? I'm not talking of local heavens and hells. That's a different thing. So you have not seen heaven, and still he is an astika person. He is a nastika. We are not discussing with him. He doesn't come under discussion at all. They're different variety. We can deal with in a different way. That is not the topic here. An astika person means what? One who accepts the Vedas as the pramana. For him, heavens are there. What is the pramana? Jnana sadhana. Vedas only. Now ask him, have you objectified heaven as this? Have you seen that? So therefore, heavens are there. Is it aparoksha jnana or paroksha jnana? Paroksha, indirect knowledge. We accept or not? That means only because something which is known without being objectified, that knowledge is not available for aparoksha but paroksha. You can't say it is as a erroneous one. You can't say. So for that the answer is now being given. Vyaktyannulekha matrena Brahmatve svargadhirapi Bhranti syad vyaktyannulekhat सामान्योल्लेख दर्शना व्यक्त्यनुल्लेख मात्रेण भ्रमत्वे सति. Sati to be added there. Brahmatve, add sati. Swargadhirapi Vyaktyanullekhat Samanyolekha darshanat, add cha. Bhrantihi syat. Vyaktyanullekhat Samanyolekha darshanat, add cha. Bhrantihi syat. व्यक्त्यनुल्लेख मात्रेण भ्रमत्वे सति. See, व्यक्त्यनुल्लेख मात्रेण means because of not available, being not available for objectification like this. Ullekha, mention or objectification like this. Vyakti individually. This is what it is. Word Vyakti, you have to be careful. It has got different meanings. So we'll see the different meanings, the proper context of it. Here it is as something like this which cannot be objectified. That is what Vyaktyadulekha matrena Brahmatve sati. This is Brahma, so you cannot objectify it. Only for that purpose, for that reason, says if the Brahma is there, this knowledge becomes Brahma, erroneous one. Then he says Swargadhirapi. There is heaven. Even this knowledge, Paroksha Jnana, is what? Vyaktyanullekha. This is Swarga. Ayam Swargaha. This is Swarga. So it is not available for objectification. Because it is not available for objectification like this is Swarga. So what will happen? And how do you know about Swarga? Samanyolekha darshana. Samanyolekha means a general mention is there. What is that? Heaven is there. Swargaha asti. Heaven is there. So in this way, as general mention is there, heaven is there. But this is heaven, so directly you can't perceive. So therefore what happens? Swargadhi api, that indirect knowledge that there is heaven also will become bhrantihi syat. It also will be bhranti. This person who has questioned like this, he is not going to accept this because he has got astika buddhi. Vedas say that heaven is there. He accepts the Vedas pramana. So therefore, heaven is there, he accepts. But it is indirectly, not directly. Therefore, it will be also error. Therefore, it says means only because something cannot be known as this. See, there is no rule that anything that can be known should be available as what? This. I am. Is it available as this? Tell me, you forget about Atma Jnana, etc. Simple I am. Do you know or not? Is it now? Come on, tell me, by what do you objectify as this? What is always this? Even grammar-wise also, what you refer as this? This or that should necessarily be different from what? I. Is it not? So whatever is available as this cannot be I, except you are answering the phone call. This is me or this is so. That's okay. That. This you refer. This is so and so. That's different thing. That cannot. Otherwise, whatever that is really I can never be available as this. That's why this is a valid argument to show that the body, etc., which are available as this cannot be truly I. That is the case. So the very fact that whatever is different from I is only available as this and that. This and that only one thing because of remoteness. So whatever that can be maybe this, provided you remove the distance in terms of time, space or ignorance. So that is possible. So therefore, now here he says, that is Vyaktyadulekha, that is I, only because that I, now say, I is not available as what? This. Can you say, I am there is a bhranti? If you say, I am there is a bhranti, then what will happen? New problem will start. And that is not my problem, not Vedanta problem. Whose problem it is? Refer to Pune. That's all. It is a psychiatrist problem. Psychotherapist also, psychiatrist has to handle that problem. If someone has got a doubt that I am there or not, a different problem. So therefore, but I am there is not available for objectification as what? Yes. Only for that sake do you say that I am there is a wrong one. Therefore, there is no hard and fast rule. To know something, it should always be available as what? This. So Vyaktanulleka. So that being the case, so we can't say what we can't say now. That like Svargadhihi, that heaven is there, is not available for objectification like this, and still it is for indirect knowledge. So also, though Brahma, I am Brahma, but if Brahma is there, such a, that means knowledge is there, it can't be erroneous one. So the second possibility also ruled out. Yourself, who is what? Is revealed without the help of anything else. I am. It's self-evident, Swaprakasha. You don't need any even mind also you don't need. So that being the case. So the Brahma which is identical with Atma, self-evident nature of Brahma has to be known through the self-evident nature of Atma. You know why? For you, Brahma is first known or Atma is first known or I is first known. You forget Atma. We have to start from which level? I, because I is something which is Swaprakasha. But that I today appears to be what? Samsari. Take to Vichara. Now that I Atma is Asamsari has to be decided. And that I which is Asamsari, that is Brahma. Who has to tell you? Shruti has to comment. That is where the Pramana comes. So therefore now, this Brahma which is identical with Atma. And Atma is Swaprakasha. Brahma also must be Swaprakasha. How it become still, how is it possible for that to become the object of the Paroksha Jnana? So for that it says that Brahma is Pratyak Sarupa. This aspect is not taken into consideration. Pratyak Ansha. Pratyak Ansha means really me. This aspect is not taken into consideration. And therefore it appears to be so. Aham Paroksha Jnana. Paroksha Jnanasya Pramatva Nishtaya. Paroksha Jnanasya Pramatva Nishtaya 49 to 57 means ascertaining the status of knowledge in the case of Paroksha Jnana. What it means is, Paroksha Jnana, indirect knowledge also is knowledge and it is not Brahma. Opposite is what? It is Brahma and not Brahma. Paroksha Jnana also is, of course, it may be not adequate, but it is knowledge, it is not delusion. So it is not Brahma, it is knowledge. So from that standpoint it says, so 49 to 57. Aham Brahmetyanullikhya Brahmasti Teva Mullikhe Paroksha Jnanametanna Bhrantam Badha Nirupana. Some gadbad is there, okay. Water would have helped him. Known as aparoksha only, and it should not be known as what? Paroksha. Whatever that is indirectly, not indirectly, directly available as I should be known as what? Directly only and not indirectly. And if it is known indirectly, it is what? Error. This also can't hold good. How? Because whatever that is directly as I, if known as something indirect, the direct thing cannot be indirect. Then how is it done? There is a reason for that. Let us. Aparokshatva yogyasya न परोक्षमतिर्भ्रमः परोक्षमित्यनुल्लेखात् अर्थात् पारोक्षसंभवात्। अपरोक्षत्वयोग्यस्य परोक्षमतिः भ्रमः न। Add there ब्रह्म परोक्षम इति अनुल्लेखात्। Add there ब्रह्म परोक्षम इति अनुल्लेखात्। Continue अर्थात् पारोक्ष संभवात्। अर्थात् पारोक्ष संभवात्। अपरोक्षत्व योग्यस्य of something which is fit to be known as what? Aparoksha only. Means aparokshatvena grahana yogyasya means aparoksha jnanasya. A thing which is worthy to be known as aparoksha means verily I. Brahma is what? Verily I. Brahma which is worthy to be known as verily I, aparoksha yogyasya. Paroksha matihi, with regards to that, related to that, paroksha matihi, it is something different from me. It is something remote. Such and such thing exists. Such mati means such knowledge. It says what? Brahmahana means whatever that is aparoksha, the same thing being known as something paroksha is not a Brahma, is not a error. Why? Even when the aparoksha thing, the very directly me, the thing, whatever that is directly me, is known as something remote, that directly the thing me can never become remote. It can never become remote. It will be clear now? So, why is not so? Brahma paroksham iti anullekha. Even when you say that Brahma is what? Paroksha, there is no pramana, there is no true statement that Brahma is paroksha. This Brahma is, even when you say Brahma is paroksha, in that means remote, Brahma is verily what? Proximate, verily you are Sarup. Then how do you take it is remote? Problem is with you. Therefore he says, Arthat paroksha sambhava. It is Arthat paroksha sambhava. Means what happened now? Brahma is truly paroksha or aparoksha? Aparoksha is verily me. Okay. But as we know now, how it is we know something as paroksha. This person says it is an error, erroneous knowledge. But the author says, the Shruti says it is not erroneous knowledge. Why? Even when you take yourself, the Brahma, as different from yourself, it truly doesn't become different from yourself. It remains intact as what? Yourself. Then how did I know that it is different from me? Brahma is there. How do you know? Arthat. Arthat means, as a matter of fact, in the sense, what is meant by arthat is under the circumstances. Under peculiar circumstances, whatever that is I, Brahma, gets presented as different from. What is that peculiar circumstance? According to the circumstance. According to some peculiar circumstance, Brahma, which is verily I, has got presented as what? This, different from me. You know what is that peculiar circumstance? Ajnana, our own ignorance. We don't know that it is me, and therefore Shruti says, and therefore Brahma is there. Whose mistake it is? Mistake of Brahma or mistake of Shastra? Ajnana. Arthat stands for Ajnana. Therefore that is Arthat. Literal meaning of Arthat is according to circumstance. And what is that circumstance here? The peculiar circumstance, your own ignorance. On account of ignorance, the Chaitanya, which is verily me, appears as something different from me. You are responsible for that, not Shastra nor Brahma. So means, and you can't say it is Brahma. Do you know why? Even this Brahma is there, though indirect knowledge, it is helpful. Do you know why? That will help you to finally discover I am Brahma. If you have no concept of existence of Brahma, how are you going to proceed afterward to know that your nature is Brahma? So, though indirect, it is not erroneous, it is useful also. On that basis, you can proceed further and inquire. With the right frame of mind, you can discover you are yourself Brahma. So, that being the case, the third possibility, what is that? Something which is fit to be known as aparoksha, if because of problem of ignorance is known as paroksha, it is not erroneous one. Of course, this what we have discussed, he is going to apply to the illustration. What was the illustration? Dashamaha nashtaha. There is a aparoksha I am, still what? 10th person is not there, then it will be very clear, much more clear it will be. So that will be remains shown later. So that is third possibility also ruled out. So paroksha jnana cannot be error. Now what is the fourth possibility? Anshasya agrahana. That is partial knowledge. Brahma is that, but Brahma is actually me. But instead of knowing me, you take Brahma as something as different. Means your knowledge is partial. Because it is partial knowledge, means part is known. What is partial knowledge? Not partial, impartial, etc. Part is known, fully not known. Certain part is not known. Certain part is known, certain part is not known. So fully not known. Only because you don't know fully, you know partially, part as such, it can't be erroneous knowledge. For that, it says, answer is now being given. Anshagruhiter bhrantischet घट ज्ञानम भ्रमो भवे निरंशस्यापि सांशत्वम् व्यावर्त्यांश विभेदतः. First line as it is. Anshagruhite bhranti chet घटज्ञानम add there api. After घटज्ञानम add api. घटज्ञानम api भ्रमः भवेत्. घटज्ञानम api भ्रमः भवेत्. व्यावर्त्यांश विभेदतः निरंशस्यापि सांशत्वम् add संभवति. व्यावर्त्यांश विभेदतः निरंशस्यापि सांशत्वम् add संभवति. अंशागृहीतेः अंशस्य अगृहीतेः. Because of the non-cognition of certain part of a given thing. Bhrantihi iti che means only because the knowledge is partial, therefore it is erroneous one. You argue like that, my dear sir, in that case, do you know what will happen? When you see a part, that knowledge also will be partial. I part, you see that you are seeing this microphone or not? Now tell me, your perception of this microphone, this knowledge that this is microphone, is erroneous one or correct one? Correct one. Now if you say a partial knowledge is erroneous one, then what you see as this as microphone is erroneous one. Do you know why? You are not seeing complete microphone. Say, look, this disc that is there facing me, you are not able to see. Are you able to see? Or should I show you now? Should I turn? If it doesn't function, the problem will come. Okay. So like this porous disc that is there facing me, you are not able to see that. Now this tail end, I am not able to see. Should not say that. Now tell, this is microphone, come on, tell me. Is it valid knowledge or erroneous one? You have a partial. But only because the partial you can't say it is erroneous one. Like that. Ghataha, this is pot. When you see a pot, do you see everything? Even however close it may be inside, you may not be able to see. And when you see, look inside, outside, you are not able to see. So I want to prove this Swami to be wrong or this what? Text to be wrong. So therefore what? Try to see inside, outside you are not seeing. When you are seeing the left, you are not seeing the right. You are seeing the back, you are not seeing the front. Yet what say? You say what? This is what? This is micro. So therefore it is a foolishness to say a partial knowledge is erroneous. One, it can't be said. That's not a valid argument. So therefore, say Ghata Jnanam api Brahmaha bhavet. You land in the problem that why Ghata, look here, Ghata Jnana applies to every blessed thing that you perceive in the world. Not that everything that you say. So it's not possible. This is a flower. You are not seeing everything in the flower as such. So, like that, it will be stupid. That means a foolish thing to say so. Okay, fine, accepted. What is accepted? A partial knowledge cannot be. But sir, what you said is true for a microphone, for a pot, for a flower, because they have got parts. And there are many parts. Some parts you know, other parts you don't know. Still that can pass as what? Knowledge. But you are talking of what? Brahma. But tell me now, your Brahma has got parts or no parts? Abhi pakda gaya. Tell me, your Brahma is what? You only tell us, Niravayava, no avayavas, no parts in Brahma. Come on, tell me now. I agree. A thing which has got parts, when you know certain parts and you don't know certain parts, still it passes as what? Valid knowledge, paroksha jnana is there. But Brahma is nirausha, niravayava, no part. There is a question of knowing partially. Come on, yes or no? Argument is correct or wrong? Argument is a valid one. Argument is a valid one. But still there is what? Truly Brahma has no part. But you are so great that what? You are presenting it with parts. So what can I do? And it is possible. Why? Superimposed parts. Truly Brahma has no part. But due to ignorance and consequent error, Brahma appears as though with parts. What are the parts will be seen there? Truly they are not there, but they appear. See, look. You saw a snake. Now see, now already dark there. You see, hood is raised, part or not. Tail is that end, about 10 feet long, that tail is there, part or not. The girth of it, part or not. Are these the actual part there? You see the eyes are shining. All what is there? You have superimposed. But they appear to be the part, actually. But truly it is what actually a rope. Neither the hood is there, nor the tail is there, nor the shining eyes are there, nor the raised thing is there. What is there? Only a rope. But these parts, what you have done, you have superimposed due to ignorance and consequent error. Likewise, in Brahma, truly there are no parts, but the parts are superimposed, falsely attributed. And with respect to those falsely attributed parts, partial knowledge is possible. Actually, if these false attributed things were not there, you can't communicate about Brahma, you can't teach about Brahma. Words will fail to convey. But we are making use of this falsely attributed things to reveal, indicate what Brahma is, which is free from part. From that standpoint, if the doubt is, Brahma is niravayava, nirausha, and therefore that is partial knowledge of Brahma is not possible. If you argue, answer is like this. Vyavartyausha vibhedataha. So, on account of Vyavartausha vibheda, there appears to be bheda, distinction, parts in Brahma. What type of parts they are? Vyavartyausha. Vyavartyausha means Vyavartyau, yau, anshav. Two parts which are fit to be discarded, which are fit to be eliminated because truly they are not there. What are the two parts? Next time I will explain that. So, Vyavartyausha vibhedataha. Because there appear to be parts in the distinction on account of Vyavartansha. So that is on account of Upadhi only as such. That Vyavartansha is something which is Aropitansha. Aropitansha means superimposed feature. So Vyavartansha vibhedataha. Sanshatvam niraunshasyapi. Brahma which is nirausha means niravayava. Its sanshatvam sambhavati. As if it is endowed with part, it is possible. Truly it has no sanshatva, it has no part. But because something which has to be discarded appears to be there, so therefore it appears to be so. The question is, what are these Vyavartya Anshas? Things to be discarded. Two are there, which you already seen, but not we don't know exactly as this in this particular. Let us see what are those. Asatvansho nivarteta. Paroksha jnanatastatha. Abhanansha nivritti syat. Aparoksha dhiya krita. Paroksha jnanataha asatvanshaha nivarteta tatha paroksha dhiya abhanansha nivrittihi krita syat. Paroksha dhiya abhanansha nivrittihi krita syat. See, what are the Vyavartyansha? What are the parts means aspects. Parts means aspect. Aspect that are available for negation, elimination. And by what it can be eliminated, both things are. Paroksha jnanata. Now let us see. If someone tells someone, hey, do you know Brahma? What answer will be? What Brahma you are taking? There is nothing called Brahma. Because you can't see, you can't hear, there is nothing called Brahma. Brahma is not there. About a thing which truly exists. It is not a fact, truth, but because of some wrong. Like, for example, the key that is in your pocket and you are searching everywhere, key is not there. Now tell me, key is not there. Is it Brahma or Prama? Erroneous notion or knowledge it is. All the time key being in your pocket means you are falsely attributed. And now say, somebody says, no, key is there. And the person who said, told you, key is there and I will produce the key. And he is the Satyavan Harishchandra, you know. He is the person who never speaks a lie. You have got trust in that person. No, key is there. Look here, not only I will show you the key is there. And what do you say? Like Dashamahanashta, key is there. Actually, you don't know where the key is there. So that means that notion, that means by that knowledge, that because of the trust in the word of that person whom you can totally rely upon, you can't be brushed aside. So you say key is there. Still you don't know where the key is there. But you say key is there. That is what paroksha jnana. What it has removed? Key is not there. This notion it has removed. Still, come on, ask where is the key? You don't know where the key is. Now he says, come on, touch your pocket. And you touch, then what is that? Eureka, you know? I got it. I got it. No. Knowledge came. Earlier what happened? Key is not there, notion was went by paroksha jnana. Now what? Oh, this is the key. Here is the key. Paroksha. So what? Bhana you got. There are two ansha. So, asatvansha. Asatvansha means nasti. Brahma is not there. That aspect which is a wrong thing, but we have brought it by erroneously superimposing. Paroksha jnanataha nivartit. It is removed by paroksha jnana. By shraddha in the Shruti, there is something called Brahma, which is knowledge principle. It is there. Oh, Brahma is not there. That notion is gone. That ansha aspect is now eliminated. That also is a falsely attributed aspect. Tatha aparoksha dhiya. Just as you say, here is the key. You found it. So also, my Swarupa is Brahma, direct knowledge, not just simply repeating the statement, making the statement, I am Brahma, not that way. Aparoksha Jnana, Aparoksha Anubhava, direct cognition. Aparoksha Dhiya, what happens? Abhanausha Nivritti Kritasya. Elimination, termination of what? Abhanausha. What is Abhanausha? Brahma is there, but I don't know Brahma. Key is there, but I don't know where it is. Like that. He is there because this person says, and I can't say he is wrong as such because he never tells a lie. I am very confident about that. But I don't know where the he is there. The Shruti can never tell that lie. Brahma is there, but I don't know where is Brahma. But when Aparokshadina, what happens? So I don't know Abhanausha. Abhana means non-cognition. So Abhanausha, earlier was Asatvausha, the non-existence aspect. Now is what? That not knowing the aspect, Abhanausha, na bhati. So these phrases have come earlier. So that nivritti, its elimination, kritasya. So it is being done. So that being the case, so what happens now? Though Brahma is nirausha, niravayava, you have attributed this notion, it is not there, it is not known. Those two aspects are removed by what? It is not there, this aspect is removed by Paroksha Jnana. It is not known, is removed by Aparoksha Jnana. So it is possible. So therefore, Paroksha Jnana is erroneous one or valid one. Though it is incomplete, it is valid, it is useful. Now what we have seen, the validity of Paroksha Jnana, same thing we can see, that is something which is aparoksha, still available as or taken as paroksha, is further explained with the earlier example of 10th person lost, dashamaha nashtaha, just to make it still further clear. Dashamostiti vibhrantam paroksha jnanamikshate ब्रह्मास्तीत्यपि तद्वत् स्यात् अज्ञानावरणं समम्. There is one alternate reading there in the place of dashamostiti vibhrantam, right opposite to that. Dashamostitya vibhrantam. Ti, in the place of second ti, tya is there. What does it mean? Dashamaha asti iti avibhrantam, right opposite. And that seems to be the correct one because Ramakrishna Tika takes as avibhranta only and not as vibhranta. So that some error must be there in the manuscript. Or we can go take vibhrant and get the meaning, but little round about the way you have to go. You have to go little round about the way. But avibhrantam is a straight, that means meaning can be had. I have not given the anvaya, no? Have I given anvaya? Yatha, you add there. Yatha dashamaha asti iti paroksha jnanam. Can take avibhrantam only. Paroksha jnanam avibhrantam ikshate. Ikshate brahma asti iti api tadvat syat. Brahma asti iti api tadvat syat. Ajnanavaranam, add to samam. Ajnanavaranam, two to be added, samam. So the illustration is that like that dashamaha nasta. You know the example now, already explained earlier. Yatha, just as dashamaha asti. 10th man is there. Who told? Aptavakya. These 10 youngsters, so we had just crossed the river, and then what? They counted, the leader counted, and then what? Only 9 were found, and the fellow concluded One of us is lost. 10th person is lost. And they were in a panic. So that somebody passing by just assess the situation. Hey, don't worry. 10th person is the apta. That means one whose words can be, that means relied upon. So apta vakya. So because that iti, that jnanam, paroksha jnanam, avibhrantam ikshati. This knowledge, ikshate means is considered as what? Avibhranta means not the erroneous one. Actually, what is the fact? Leader who says that that person who was counting says what? 10th person is. What did he do? He counted the 9 and because of some peculiar condition overlooked to count oneself and he says what? 10th person is not there. When he says 10th person is not there, does he mean to say I am not there? He knows. Me who is counting is there, he knows. But I am the 10th person, he doesn't know because of some peculiar condition. Now the apta says, no, 10th person is there. He has Shraddha in the word of that person because he knows there is no reason why he should cheat, etc. And he says what? Hey, do you hear what he says? 10th person is there. When he says 10th person is there, actually whom he is referring to? Me. Actually it is what? Paroksha or aparoksha? He has made it paroksha. Actually it should be aproksha. I am the 10th man should be, but still he doesn't know I am the 10th person, but Shraddha is there. 10th person is there. He has reduced the aparoksha to paroksha. Still, only because it is paroksha, do you mean to say that his existence is going to get denied on that matter? And does it take that I don't exist? No, it is intact. So therefore it says, so paroksha dhanam avibhrantam ikshati. It is considered as what? Avibhrantam is na vibhrantam. It is not the erroneous one. That is what is considered. If you take vibhrantam, you know what you have to take? You have to take from the standpoint of the Purva Paksha, who says that what? Erroneous one, vibhrantam, or which is not to the fact. Fact is what? This person himself is 10th person, still he takes himself to be different from oneself, not given to the fact. At the same time, it is the knowledge. But avibhrantam is the right one, it is not erroneous one. Similarly, says, Brahma asti iti api. So, that from the Shruti statement, Brahma is there, means he read Shrutis. He has got Shraddha in the Shruti. Shruti can't, Vedas, Upanishad can't tell something wrong. Brahma is there. Iti api tadvat syat. It is like that. Tadvat means what? Avibhrantam syat. It is not erroneous one. But this is common. What is that? Ajnanavaranam samam. Brahma is not there. That is what? It is by what? Ajnana. Ajnana krita avarana. Ajnana avarana is Ajnana krita avarana. This 10th person verily being there, 10th person is not there. How did he say that avarana is on account of what? Ignorance. Here also, really Brahma, but Brahma is not there. How did he say? Because of ignorance. The avarana, feeling that Brahma is not there, caused by what? Ajnana is same, is common in the case of 10th person and also in the case of I am Brahma. That means from up to here now what is proved is paroksha jnana is valid. Fine. How it is born? How it is born? By apta vakya. It is born by apta vakya. Now the question is, if paroksha jnana is born by apta vakya, how is the aparoksha jnana born? See, look, 10th person is there. This knowledge is born of the apta vakya. Means a person who has, so with aptaha, I had given yathartha vakta. Yathartha vakta means one who speaks according to the truth. One who speaks the truth. Yathartha Vakta. We have seen this definition earlier. Yathartha Vakta Aptaha. One who speaks as the thing is. That 10th person, that old man who told 10th person, he knows because these fellows have committed a blunder here in counting. So that is what 10th person, Yathartha Vakta. In the case of Atma Brahma, who is Yathartha Vakta? Shruti. Is the Yathartha? Shruti is, if you say Shruti, you have to say Yathartha Vaktri. You can't say Vakta. You have to say Yathartha Vaktri. Feminine, Vakta, Vaktru. Feminine is what? Vaktri. Grammar, don't bother about it. So, now, the Paroksha Jnana is born from the statement of a person or a Shruti, etc., which tells the truth. The question is, how Aparoksha Jnana is born? How Aparoksha? Only because, say, look here, that after told 10th person is there, some consolation is there, still the fellow has not found who is the 10th person. I am the 10th person is not found. Something much more things are required to discover I am the 10th person. Like that. We have Shraddha in the Shruti. Brahma is there. ब्रह्म को ढूंढना पड़ेगा. किधर जाएंगे? मानस सरोवर जाएंगे, केदार जाएंगे, बद्री जाएंगे, where to find out, पुट्टपर्ती जाएंगे. किधर ढूंढने का? ब्रह्म को ढूंढना पड़ेगा. किधर ढूंढेंगे? You know that doha I told you? What is that? लहर ढूंढे लहरी को कपड़ा सो ढूंढे सूत, जीव ढूंढे ब्रह्म को तीनों ऊत के ऊत. तीनों ऊतों के ऊत. लहर ढूंढे लहरी को. The wave is stored, the wave which is torn by other waves, etc., got fed up of this samsara of being a small wave as such. Some other wave said, hey, you are not a chota fellow. You are that mighty, big, vast ocean. What is there now? Apta. Shraddha there. But where is that? It starts with it. Hey, where is ocean? Hey, where is this ocean? This wave says that I am the ocean, not a chota wave. लहर ढूंढे लहरी को कपड़ा ढूंढे सूत. The cloth is searching for the thread. Similarly, जीव ढूंढे ब्रह्म को. This जीवा, samsari जीवा is now what? Searching Brahma. तीनों ऊत के ऊत. Filtered idiots. Uta means what? Idiot. ऊतों के ऊत. PhD in idiocy. Why? The Dhundar himself is who? Brahma. Dhundar is the one who is searching himself is who? Brahma. How? At least Brahma is there, you have got Paroksha Jnana, no? How that is possible? Let us see. That is now being now inquired into. 58 to stanza 72. Aparoksha Jnana is born of thorough inquiry. Vichara sahakritam jnanam na brahmaha. Based on paroksha jnana, when you inquire and discover the truth, that knowledge cannot be erroneous one. It has to be valid knowledge. Stanza 58 to 72 is going to prove that. We'll see that. ओम स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्तां न्यायेन मार्गेण महीं महिषाः.